Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on SoTellUs Time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. We're so excited to be here with you guys today. Hopefully you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving, nice and juicy turkey. I know our turkey turned out one of the best I think it's ever turned out. I think I did 4 little turkeys, so it was really good. We had a great time. Lots of family, over 40 people in my house. That was wonderful. We had a good time playing games and ping pong, and hopefully you guys had a similar experience where you got to enjoy family and friends and good food. And then, gosh, time is flying. It is almost the end of the year. November's almost over. It's almost December, and boy, does it go fast. December goes extremely fast. I always say it flies. Once we hit Halloween, the year just flies. Like that, Those 3 months, boom, gone. And so it's exciting. It's a good time. It's another year down. Congratulations. You've made it another year. Hopefully it was a good year for you. And if you've been listening to SoTellUs Time and implementing things every single week, I know that it was a good year for you. So if you haven't, well, if this year's been slower for you and you haven't been implementing something every week from SoTellUs Time, do something different this next year. Make that a New Year's resolution. Today, we're going to be talking about AI versus humans. Everybody's talking about AI. It's like the new craze. Emails from everybody about it. If you have a coach or a guru or are part of a group and a membership, you're hearing about AI. Artificial intelligence is the future. Oh my gosh. Even in Congress, they're talking about artificial intelligence. And if you pay attention to that, it's going to take over the world and we're in trouble. Just like the movies, right? Will Smith and robots taking over the world. Well, there is a lot to AI, and there's a lot that's good and a lot that's bad. And so today we want to go over the differences and where AI should be applied in your business and where it should stop, where that should end, because AI should only do so much for you, especially the way that it is right now. And I don't want to give away anything else because I'm about to give away stuff. So I'm going to just let Troy jump into it because I kind of know this outline, and which is unusual. I know you're all laughing like, really? Did you read the outline today, Trevor? No, I didn't read the outline. Kind of skimmed a little bit of it. So today we're just going to get started. You're going to love this one. Let's go, Troy.
All right. So let's just start off. For those that don't know what AI is, Trevor mentioned it. You know, the AI stands for artificial intelligence. But what we're really talking about today is services like ChatGPT that are out there that you can use in your business to take care of some of your workload. Yeah. So if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, it's basically a service that you can ask it to do things, right? Like, for example, I could say, hey, I need you to write me an email to reject an employment applicant. Yeah. Like, I got an application. I don't want to hire them. Write the email to reject them. Yep. And it will literally write the email for you. So it can do certain things, and it can do certain things well, but it can't do everything. We're going to talk about that today. But that's what we're talking about, is something like that. Another way to think of it is like Alexa or Siri on your phone, right? You can ask it to do things and it does them for you. So I want you to kind of think of AI.
I don't think people think of Siri and Alexa as artificial intelligence, but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. People don't think about it, but it's like, think about what you can do as Siri. You can literally tell it to schedule an appointment in your calendar for you, or, set a reminder, or, hey, clock the next 60 seconds and give me a timer on that,
Look so up this. You can ask it anything.
Yeah, it is a form of artificial intelligence, right? Because it can do these things for you. So that's what I want you to frame in your mind when we're talking about AI today. There's also like web chat services out there that offer AI to handle simple communication when people visit your website. So that's another form of AI that businesses can utilize. So let's talk about what are some good uses of AI in your business. And one we mentioned right off the bat, which is writing emails, communication, right? Or, for example, writing social media posts. Maybe you want to post content out there. You can have it write little posts for you. So it's a great way to create somewhat generic content that you don't have to spend the time writing for yourself. Now, I know when high school kids heard of this, they were like, oh my gosh, I can have ChatGPT write all my papers, and they started doing that. And then, of course, people immediately created software that can recognize, stuff that has been written by AI and then flag it for the teachers. So,
and what's crazy is I just saw, I don't know where I was because I don't have real TV at my own home. Oh, I was on my anniversary. Chelsea and I were on the anniversary. I was waiting for Chelsea to get ready. And so the resort had a TV. And so I saw a commercial. I don't see commercials normally. And it was a news story that was coming up, right? That what Arizona and what, excuse me, and what these other states are doing to combat AI and schools, the laws that are being implemented. So it's like they're actually taking this all the way up, right? All the way up the chain.
Exactly. So, but it is a great way to create, generic content that you can utilize in your business. Another thing that it's really good for is researching topics. You can literally go into ChatGPT and say, hey, give me 5 points about this, or hey, what are the 5 best this, right? And it will go do research, come back and give you the information. So it's a great way to get research done. Another thing is answering simple, questions for clients. So we talked about web chat a little bit. There are now web chat services out there that are incorporating a little bit of AI so that it can, ask people what they're looking for. And then based on their answers, it might be able to give a good answer back, for very simple questions, right? But it's important to understand this is a machine that's trying to understand what the person says. Yeah. So there is that. Another thing that AI is good for is initiating communication with potential clients, meaning that you can use AI or automation to reach out to clients or potential clients to try to start the conversation, right? But we're going to talk about why you don't want to utilize it to continue the conversation. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But it is a good way to initiate communication because as business owners, a lot of times we're really busy and we don't have time to follow up with people. So you can utilize AI to follow up with those people and try to get them communicating with you. And then you pick it up from there. Yes. Virtual assistants. We talked about that again. Think about Alexa, think about Siri, I want you to think about the little things that you can have Siri do for you. Right? You're not going to ask Siri to do anything major, but there are simple little tasks that Siri can do for you or that Alexa can do for you. So those are some of the good uses of AI in your business. So I want you to look at what are some simple, maybe repetitive tasks that I do frequently that I could have AI take over, right? Okay. Now, that sounds great. So, of course, you're like, I want AI to do everything for me. Yeah. I never want to have to answer an email again. I never want to talk to a client again, and you do not want that, wrong. No. So AI can only do so much. Yeah. So we're going to kind of talk about some of the things that you shouldn't let AI do for you. Yeah. And the number one thing is handling all of your customer service.
Exactly.
Right. And Trevor, you and I were talking about this earlier. You brought up, the idea of offshore customer support versus in-house. Do you want to kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah. Well, think about it just very simply. When you call in to get support somewhere and the person picks up the phone and obviously the support has been outsourced to a foreign country. Good people, not saying anything about that or them or anything like that, but I am saying immediately, I think the frustration that can happen because you're going, there are all sorts of things like language barriers, right? understanding, comprehension. They're working off of scripts. And I think the funny thing about this is that you're going to find a lot of similarities between like an offshore or outsourced support as you will with how you would set up AI in your business. And so, but then there's when you call and you get that wonderful experience with support where you can very easily understand each other. You're comprehending what each other is saying and the problem is and the solution that they come up with. And you just receive that really great service where somebody actually knows the product or knows the service and isn't just working off of a, okay, sir, please tell me this. Okay, hold on. Okay, sir. And they've got these like line item answers because they don't truly know your service or your product or the product or service that you're utilizing. So it's a, it's a stark difference between offshore support versus like in-house. Like for us, for SoTellUs, we have success coaches. They know the system better than anybody. And they're able to help people with the ins and outs of the system. And that is always, we are getting emails and text messages, Facebook posts and things like that saying, your guys' support is phenomenal. Like, and they name people specifically. They're like, Isaac is the man. Ryan is so awesome. They helped us so much. Just the other day, Ryan had a 2-hour support call. And at the end, they were just like, you are absolutely amazing. And they reached out to us to let us know how amazing Ryan was. So there's a difference of a scripted, in-house person versus that person who really understands the situation.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because my wife had an experience with Amazon, and Amazon is known for their customer service.
Yeah.
And we ordered a security door that goes on the outside of a property that we have. And they shipped us a baby bed instead. And so my wife's calling up Amazon and she got someone, offshore, in another country. And she's trying to explain to them, hey, I ordered a security door for my house. You sent me a baby bed. And they're like, I don't understand. And she's like, a baby bed. And they're like, what is that? And they're like, a bed that a baby sleeps in. And 45 minutes on the phone, trying to communicate, and not being able to solve the situation. Right. And again, nothing against the person, but they just didn't understand, what was going on. And they had a very limited script of what they could do. So absolutely frustrating. Right. And AI, imagine that, but way worse.
Yeah.
Right?
And isn't it funny that like you have to have things escalated. And when you finally escalate it high enough, the person you speak to is someone who actually truly knows what's going on. They are here in the States. They know the product or service. You know what I mean? Like, and that's an example of a really bad support system. Like, if that is the experience that your customers are having, they're not happy. Like, they're never gonna be happy.
Yeah.
So like you were saying, that's exactly like I was saying. Scripts. What do you think AI does? You upload a script. For when they say this, you say that. When they respond this, it says this, and that's exactly what it's like. So I hope that you guys are understanding because I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to let Troy keep going. We are opposite of what the world is saying right now. Like, we don't just jump on the bandwagon ever, unless it is something that is tried, true, and amazing. Then yes, we will. And we test everything out ourselves. In fact, Troy and I have tested out extensive AI communication systems that maybe someday we'll get there. But right now it's like, you say this, it says this, but then it said the wrong thing, So again, when we're talking, it's things we know and experienced and have experience with. And so we're the opposite of what everybody else is saying to you right now. There's going to be a lot of people trying to sell you on artificial intelligence because they want to set it up for you and get paid.
Yeah. And actually that leads perfectly into, basically you don't want it to handle all of your communication. Like Trevor said, we've been testing tons of different forms of AI out there and different softwares and seeing how well they do, because again, we don't want to recommend it to all of our clients if it's not going to work. And I'll actually tell you the story. We were using or testing an AI scheduler, right, to schedule appointments for our sales team.
Yep.
And it was so funny as we went through this and watched it, because it would ask people, hey, when would you like to schedule? And it was a chat system. And then the person would text or chat back, hey, Wednesday at 1 p.m. And then it came back and its response was, I'm sorry, that time doesn't work for me. How about Wednesday at 1 p.m.? And I'm like, what? Like, you literally just told them that you're not available at 1 p.m. and then asked them if they want to do it at 1 p.m. And there was very similar. There's multiple situations where it couldn't quite understand what the person was meaning, or in that case, it should have easily understood what that was. And that was very simple, but then when it got even more complex, it struggled even more. So we're like, okay, this does not work when it comes to scheduling, right? And that's the thing. I want you to think about it. Like, because there's the idea of, hey, I can just send a calendar link and the person can pick a time that works for them, and that works 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Or I can use AI and have this communication going back and forth and hope that the AI gets it right.
Yeah, you think it's cool, but if it doesn't work.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, it's not cool at all. So, and again, we're not bashing AI. I want to make sure that everyone understands that AI is going to get better and better, and it's going to be more and more useful in a business. But you got to know where to implement it right now, and where not to implement it. So, the other thing too that an AI can't do for you is it can't create a personal relationship with your clients. And really, ultimately, your relationship with your client is the most valuable asset you have in your business, right? If you building those relationships keeps those customers coming back to you over and over and over again. That's why they choose your business over any other business out there. So if you are not building those relationships with your clients, then you're going to lose those clients eventually. And AI just can't do that for you. It's not to that level yet that it can build relationships.
And let me interject this too. If you think of that on a smaller scale, if you've been the wearing all the hats person, right? And you've built relationships with clients, you have then experienced as your company grew and you brought employees on. Your customers had a hard time working with those employees versus wanting to just talk to you. I just want to work with Trevor. I just want to work with Troy. I've been talking to them for years. I've been with them for 15 years. I just want to talk to them. Well, yes, but now we have thousands of clients versus, hundreds of clients. And so we're spread a lot thinner. So we have to bring people on. And just even from that. So if you can imagine, and for all mine that have experienced that, the strain that it was getting people to work with employees versus you, can you imagine how dissatisfied they would be if they were working with artificial intelligence instead of just like, and perfect example, call Walgreens or something. And you're like one of those ones. And you're like, how can I help you today? Refill a prescription. Oh, would you like to hear about our specials? No, refill a prescription. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can help you with that. Give me your birth date. I give them the birth date. Did you say this? No, I said this. Did you say this? No, I said this. It's like, say one. I'm sorry, 2 doesn't work. Like, think about that.
Yeah. So what we want you to think about, again, because AI can be an important part of your business, but what you need to think about is that AI cannot build a relationship like a human can.
Correct.
And it cannot make connections like you can make. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're using AI to automate tasks, to automate simple things so that you have more time to build relationships with your clients. That's what it is. And that's what it's good at right now, is it's good at taking care of those simple tasks, which frees up more time for you to be able to spend with your clients and build those relationships and grow your business. And that's how you should be looking at AI right now in your business. Anything else you want to add, Trevor, before we hit the homework?
Just that the thing is, again, we're not against AI. We utilize some of it in parts of our business, and it makes things nice and easy. But what's happening and the trend that's happening right now is, and what we're trying to save you from is, people are charging a lot of money and companies are spending a lot of money to set up all of this artificial intelligence. And because it's the new and hot thing and it's going to change your business and, replace employees and all this kind of stuff. Well, the thing is it's not there yet. And that's really what we're saying, is it's not truly there yet, and it can't replace that human touch. At least not yet. And to be honest with you, I hope it never does.
And I'm going to add one more thing in there, Trevor, to that, because I think you made a really good distinction. We have AI like on one side over here. We have humans kind of on this other side right here. But then in between the two, there's automation. Right? So AI is trying to figure it out and do it on its own. A human has that capability to do it, right? But they only have so much time in a day. Automation is that in between where it's like, I can automate this task. I can make sure that it says the right thing, delivers the right message at the right time. Every single time, right? Through automation. So really, ultimately, and I love how you brought this out, because really AI is not quite right there. Right. But automation is. Correct. So more than anything, businesses should be looking at, how can I automate certain things, right? Versus trying to, ride the AI wave and hope that it does it right.
It's too early. It's too early. And that's the thing, is automation is tried and true. Automation is fully vetted. Automation has been utilized and tested over years now. And that is something that Troy and I are traveling around, and Troy just spoke on stage at an event all about automation and how your website can actually be your best employee, do a lot of heavy lifting, and do a lot for you, actually, which is not how most people think about a website. And I'm not going to go down that whole road. We can actually do a whole podcast on that, Troy, because that presentation you gave was phenomenal and should be a podcast. So we will do that for sure. But guys, automation is what we're talking about right now, and pushing people towards, because it's tried and true. You set it up and it does what it's supposed to do, and it really does make your life easier. That's kind of how they're pushing artificial intelligence, is with those same parameters, but it's just not there yet. So don't want to beat a dead horse. It's already dead. So the point is that you want to find out, is there a place in your business for artificial intelligence right now? And then figure out how you can implement that a little bit if you want to dabble. But I'm going to just bring it right back and say, if not, and you don't have automation set up yet, then you don't even need to be talking about AI yet. You don't even need to be thinking about AI. You need to be setting up automation. That is the first and foremost thing that you need in your business, and will absolutely help your bottom line and grow your business. Artificial intelligence is going to come along over the years, and then we will be talking about it more and saying, now this is how you implement that. So if you need help with automation, get a hold of us. If you need help with AI, don't talk to me yet, because it's not there. We love you guys. We appreciate you. That is the homework for this week, is you can look at your business, see if there is anywhere in your business that you could implement a little bit of automation, AI, artificial intelligence. But if not, really do think about the automation, and also how and if you are having a good enough personal touch, because it always goes back to that too. Having somebody in place that does a phenomenal job and takes care of your customers, or executes a task, or sells really well, or whatever that is, there's really no replacement for that at this point. So we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And we will check you out on the next episode of SoTellUs Time.